Actually, the first question I do have is, Ange, you are the only one that has access. Do I need to send access to anyone else?
Yes.
Who would that be? Is it Christy? Does Christy need access?
Yes.
Okay. I will send her an invitation then. Okay. Anyone else?
Father Joseph.
You talking you're talking about now? To the accent now or later?
Later. Yeah, I'll send that later.
Okay.
So Ange has a password.
So she's going to record this and then she'll send it to us so that we
Let's see.
can go back and see it.
I have Father Joseph and his last name at stpaulapostlec.com. And then can I use Christy's Gmail? Are these two emails okay?
Yes.
Okay, I will send those after the training. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to start off with when you sign in, this is what you will see. So Radius is different from the new editor. You will be going to editor.osvwebsites.com where you will log in. And then when you log in, this is what you will see. On the right-hand side, you'll see your email address. You'll be able to change the language if you need to for yourself. You'll sign out. With this new platform, if you were to have multiple websites, you could click this button and go back and forth to your other website, but you only have one, so you won't need to worry about this button at the top right. Next to that is a stats. You can click on that, or on the left-hand side where you will see the statistics. Once we publish your website, you will start to see the site views, how many people go on your website through the desktop and through the mobile, which is a tablet or a cell phone. And you'll be able to choose between these three different graphs. And then form responses. So on the website, you will have you will be able to create a form on the actual website. It'll look something like this. When someone clicks the send button, here is one of two places where you will see the submissions. So before you log into the editor mode, you will be able to view the form responses here. So when someone submits a form, here will be one place that you can view that. And as you click on stats, it'll move it down for you, up, down, as you see. This preview button, you can copy and paste this link and send it to anyone that does not have access. So right now, Ange is the only one. So if Christy needed access to view the website but doesn't have a login, you can copy and paste that link and send it to her, and she can view the website and actually play with it, click on buttons, and it'll show it for the three different views. You can also do it for the desktop, tablet, or the cell phone. So this is just to view it. So that is the preview button. And then when you click into editor mode, that will take you into the editor position. So that will allow you to get in. So I am in on my login. And then any questions so far before I start at the top bar?
No.
Awesome. Okay. So when you log into the website, as you can see, this is the difference. This is the big difference between Radius and the new website. In Radius, you would have to go to pages and you would have to edit the page. And this is what you see. You don't really see much. The new website, you get to actually see what you're doing to the website and what it actually looks like. So to start off with, when you want to view a different page, there are three places on the editor mode that you can view it. So here, if you click on newcomers, it'll take you to the newcomers page. So these are all your pages. You can actually click on the actual website as well. So if I click on giving, it'll take me to giving. And then the third place is pages. So these are called pages, and you can click on the home page. It'll take you there. So 1, 2, and 3. As you're editing and you're adding text, you're adding buttons, you will see that they start to be added to the tablet and the cell phone. So welcome to our church. I'm going to add that, and that will be added to the tablet and the cell phone. The difference is the cell phone, because it's small, if you need to make changes to the cell phone, just the cell phone, it will leave it as that. So I'm going to exaggerate the font, and on the tablet, oh wait, sorry. Fonts is different. Let me go back. For example, if the button needs to be smaller because it's too big, I'm going to make it really small. It won't change the size for the tablet or the desktop. So if there's pictures, if there's buttons that are too big or too small, you can change it for the cell phone so that it looks appropriate on the cell phone view. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. So that is the difference between the desktop, tablet, and cell phone. The cell phone, you can change the size of things to make it look appropriate on the smaller screen. Tablet, if you make changes to the tablet, it does connect to the desktop. So these two will make changes to one another, if that makes sense. Next is the search the editor. So this is a search button. If you're looking to do something, you're more than welcome to use this as a tool. You can look at articles, but of course, give us a call or email us if you're trying to figure something out. But here, this is an option. Next, you will see this little info tab. Once we publish your website, this will change. Here is the second place where you can copy that link. And if you needed to send it to Christy, she can view the 3 forms. So that is called the preview link. Stats, when you're in the editor mode, here is the second place where you can view how many people are seeing the desktop or the tablet or the cell phone. Clients, you actually won't see this. There are specific settings that we have to set. So we will do that for you. So for example, right now, Ange is the only one that has access. So Ange would have to tell me that Christy and Father needs access to the website. So if Christy were to say, I need for John to get access, I cannot do that just for security purposes, privacy. But once I add Christy and Father, all 3 of you will be able to let us know if anyone else needs to be added. And then editor language, if you need to change your editor mode, you can change the language to the actual editor site for yourself. That is just for yourself when you have your own login. This button, you actually won't see that, so I will pass that button. The next 3 buttons are important. So in Radius, you would have to click Save as Draft. If you were to click Cancel, it does not save. So you either save it or it doesn't save. On this new website, it actually saves automatically for you. So when I go welcome to our church, I'm not pushing anything, it's loading itself. So you no longer have to click save as draft. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
So as you are making changes, it will save automatically for you. So if I go to that, I am not clicking any buttons, it's saving. I can go to newcomers and then go back to home, it's saved. So I never had to click save as draft. Next, The next thing to remember is you do have the back and forward button, the redo and the undo button. So that is these two. So if I need to go back, it will take me back, or if I need to redo, it'll take it back. One thing to remember, once you go to a different page, it will reset. So if I go to giving, I haven't done anything, so I can't go forward or back. I'm going to go back to the home because that's essentially a new page. I can't go forward or backwards. So it does reset when you move to a new page. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to remove that because I know that I added that. Next is the source button. So in Radius, if you needed to view the source, the HTML and CSS, that is the source button right here. And you can view the source if that is something that you need to see. Next is the preview button. This is the third place that you can copy the link. So here you can preview the sections yourself. You can view it in the Apple or the Android view. You can copy the link and send it to someone that needs to see the website. I'm going to click back to editor. And then this publish button. Once we publish your website, it'll say republish. So the difference with this is in Radius, to make it go live, you would have to press the green publish button. Here, you will have to press the red republish button. So after you make changes and they save, it will not go live until you click the red button. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this time you have to save before you publish?
No, no,
So when you.
no, you're just gonna hit that button so that
I
it
thought she
republishes.
say save over here. This icon.
No, that's just, that takes you from the one screen to the next. The tablet or the
Mhm.
phone.
But once you change it, you have to say
You have to
publish so
publish.
that
It'll
that's it.
go to each one of those devices, the way that you want it.
Okay, we're good.
Awesome. You won't see this help button, so it's fine. You'll have a little question mark. We definitely recommend that you just give us a call or email us if you have any questions. If you ever end up like on a live chat, just remember that is not our Sunday Visitor. And then the home button will take you back to where you originally signed in from. And so that is your beginner login page. So that is the top. Next, I'm going to go on the left-hand side. And again, stop me if you have any questions. The template that you chose is Peter. And if you needed to change the colors, this is where you would do that. And this is where you would do that, the design. So the template brings fonts and colors, and they are already set. So the global text, when you add a paragraph, this is the paragraph default text. And then you have header 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And these can all be changed, as you can see, the font, the size, the color. The reason why this is nice is that when you are adding a text, instead of having to find your font, find the size, you can choose header 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which is the settings right here. So if you need to change that, that is something that you can do. We do not touch that. These are set from the template. When you add a paragraph, the paragraph, we're going to change that. We're going to bold that. So if you needed to change, let's see here, this one right here. This one is actually a paragraph text. So as you can see, You do not see the header 1. So what that is when we get into widgets, we'll get that into shortly. When you drag a text, it is set to the paragraph mode, which is right here. So if you need to change your default paragraph text font, that would be right there. Next is the buttons. If you see here, the background color is yellow, and when you hover over it, it gets darker, a darker mustard color. As you can see, that is not the case for here. So when you add a button, this is what it'll look like, yellow, and when you hover over, it's a dark color. But remember that you can always change the settings for buttons. So when you add a new button, these are the settings, and then you can change the settings for the specific buttons you're working on or leave as is. You can choose the different styles. Images, we recommend that you just keep it a square. And then, of course, like I said, you can change the settings for any picture. So if you wanted to make this one a circle, it can be a circle. But whenever you add a picture, it will be square. Global rows. So a row, you can change the colors. We recommend that you keep it blank because that'll be white. So this is a row right here. This is a row. This is a row. So what we recommend that you do is as you're starting to add content, to try not to add so much to one row, because then you can separate. As you can see here, this is a row with a picture. This is with a widget. This one has another picture and text. This little skinny row allows you to have a give button. So that is a row, and you can change the settings for a row itself. Background, you can change the colors of the whole layout of the background of each page. It is, of course, set to white, but if you needed to change that, you can. And then site layout. If you need to choose a different layout, so right now the desktop has the top header. You can choose between these 3. You have 2 options for the tablet, and you have 2 options for the cell phone. So that is your global default settings that all can be changed. Next is pages. So in Radius, it was the same as Radius when you were changing where the pages were going to be set. So when you click, hold, and drag, I'm going to click, hold, and I can drag this down to the bottom. And as you can see, it made it go automatically. It's saving automatically. I want it to go back. It's back where it was. It's saving automatically, and it changed automatically for me. As you can see here, we have settings. So you can have submenus and then another sub menu up to 2. So the way you do that is you can, let's say I want giving under parish life. You can click, hold, and drag. And where you see it right in the back, you see that little gray font, or sorry, that gray area. Now giving is gone and it is under parish life. Let's say I wanted it under calendar. I'm going to click, hold, and drag it more towards the right. As you can see it, I see that little gray area. Now it is under parish life and calendar. And then if I want it to go back out, I just wait until I see it extend out. And now it is back on. So that is how you move pages. All pages have their own settings. As you can see here, you can change their name. What this means is you can, sometimes when you add, like for example, our news, this comes with your faith in action content, which is these pictures here at the bottom, as well as down here. So these are pages, but we don't want them on the navigation menu. As you can see here, you don't see faith in action. So what you do is you click the hide from all button. as you can see here, I'm going to zoom in. It shows you the desktop, the tablet, and the cell phone. So you can choose where it is not going to be hidden, and it'll give you the little symbol, hidden on mobile, hidden on tablet and mobile. Now it's hidden on all. So that's a neat feature. Quick and easy for you to hide. And then you can duplicate a page, lock for client editing. So if Ange were to lock this, that means that Christy or any other editors cannot access. So if you lock it for yourself, that is on your end. The next important one is set access. If you click on here, it'll scroll down for you automatically and take you to the password protected. So you can make a password protected page, set the password and click save, and that password you can hand out. For example, we have a church that has a directory and only registered parishioners have that password. So that is pages and the settings. Next is, I'm going to add a page. So when you add a page, you'll click the red button. We're going to add a blank page, a test page, because I'm going to show you widgets. And as you can see here, it says blank page, but what that means is it's going to be empty in the middle for you to start fresh, but you'll always have your header and your footer set. Next is a page URL. So you can have a title of the page. And then you can set a URL. So for example, if I wanted to do the URL, oh, that's not good. 1 second.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
For online giving, parishioners, when they give online, and they should have the email address in there, right?
What do you mean?
So when they give online, they don't need to put any information, just give money.
No, they do give information.
Do they give the email address or no?
Yes.
My question is, let's say that I want to give a gift to all online parishioners, just to promote, them to give online more. Can I send like a list of all the email? Can I pull from OSV or no? You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about?
You'd go to reporting. So that's an reporting donor list. So you can pull a donor list where it has all your donors that are active or have created an account. You can print this out and send it out.
So that's the list.
Yes.
And how do I send, an email to all of them?
Right there.
You can't do that in our system. So you would have to
Oh.
copy and paste into your email.
Oh, okay.
There's not that many.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember that?
So next, I'm going to do the online giving URL. So what this does is when you create a page and you copy the link, it's going to have a little world symbol. So if they click on it, it will take them directly to the online giving page instead of a regular page. So you can do that. And then
Is that something that's set up automatically, the URL? Is that something that's already going to be in there, or are we going to have to find the URL?
so the URL can always be found in your online giving.
Okay.
That's how I found it just now. I clicked on this.
On funds? Okay.
Yep. So if you click on this button, it'll launch the page for you.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then, so you can choose between doing the external URL or use the giving page that is set here. So it's up to you what you want to use. And then the rest of these are templates that you can use. Like I said, you already chose a template. Your about page is typically used as our services. Contact us is a contact template. These three are home page templates. And then the folder is if you don't want them to be able to click on the link. So as you can see here, I can go to contact, I can go to the about page, I can go to the giving page. For example, on your website, newcomers, it can't be clicked on. I'm trying to click on it and it won't take me to anything. So that is a folder page where you can just have a title and then have submenus within that title. So that is creating a folder page. So next is widgets. And I'm just going to show you the widgets and what they do. So frequently used and popular. As you start to use widgets, these will start to populate for you. So we're going to go through the basics, media, business, social, and advanced. So adding a text. Sorry, let's back up. In a row, you have your own settings. So I'm going to right click and I can see the row for a settings. So you can add columns, you can add a row below, which will just automatically add a row below. Clear padding allows you to, as you can see here, make room for more. If you need to make an anchor, that is where you can link. Let's say you wanted to make this an anchor and they click on a button. They click on the address, it'll take them to the anchor. So that's what an anchor is. So each row has its own settings. And then there is one column. So as you are entering widgets, it'll enter into one column. So what that means is I'm going to add a text. And as you can see here, the text is the width of the column. In a widget, in a row, you can have up to 4 columns. And what this does, it allows you to divide things evenly. So now the text, as you can see here, is divided in half. You can have up to 4 columns. So I'm right clicking and adding a column. So there, you'll start to see that widgets are here to be helpful. So instead of right clicking, you can add the columns yourself as a widget. So if you add 4 columns, it'll add a new row and it'll already have the 4 columns for you.
So with text box like that, can you insert the picture too, or just the text only?
That's another widget.
That's another widget.
Yeah, so I'm going to do widget, media, image.
Oh, widget.
And then you can add an image. So this will be the way when you add an image. When you add a widget, every widget is going to have a little pop-up except for text, because text is just choosing a font. As you see here, this is the only difference. Anything else, a button, a picture, you will have the opportunity to click and you will see the content and design. Content, I would think of it as what you're going to show, what is going to be written for it. Design is how it's going to look like, colors, fonts, layout, if it's going to be bigger or smaller. And we're going to add a picture. So button and file, you'll see that these are the exact same, but they're trying to make it easy for you. So if you add a button, this is the one where you'll have to enter in a text and choose where you want it to go to. So you have all of the options here. The file button is just ready for you to download a file. So as you can see here, it says download file, and you can download the PDF file or any file that you need it to download. So just a widget ready for you to use instead of having to change the title and download a file at the bottom. That's the only.
That's a PDF file. What about let's say that one day I feel happy and I want to play a song, Christian song, and put on our website. Can we do that or
Do
no?
the widget.
Yes.
Which one?
There's, should be one for
The
widgets.
video?
Yeah. Yep, I'm going to go through all of them.
So I have to record it outside first and then upload it.
Yes, because that's what you had to do in Radius, right? Radius, you record and then you had to upload. I don't think in Radius we had a place where you can record on Radius.
I don't know neither.
Yeah, so I'll show you that in a second. So the next widget is divider. Just a neat way for you to have a divider if you needed to create a little space in between your text. And then next is spacer. That one I'll go over in just a second. So in the text, like I said, they try to make things easier for you. So header 1, when you add a text, it's already set for the title, header, and then the widget for header 3, small header, small title. So file, and then so spacing. So when you are adding to a row, as you can see here, there is a lot of spacing. So when you go into your row settings, when you right click, these are the row settings, and then you can actually left click and it'll get you into your design for the row where you can change the color, which is where we told you to leave it white. That way you can change it yourself. And then there is spacing. So in Radius, you would have to right click and edit the dimensions or edit the way the table looks. Here, you don't have to guesstimate on numbers. Let me go back. Okay, so here you can use this little feature to make it go smaller instead of having to type in numbers. And then here I can shrink the row size as well. So that is what a spacer widget is too. So spacer, if you needed some space in between, all it is creating space. So that is the spacer widget. You can use either or. Next is the list. So if I'm going to add a list, a lot of churches like to use this for bulletin or showing the staff. For schools, they have a little paragraph for the teachers, their name and their picture. All of this can be removed. So as you can see here, you don't have to have a picture. You don't have to have a link. You can have a button or none, and it shrinks it down for you. And then you can build your list and add more or remove items. And of course, you can always change. Everything is changeable. So I can go back to my elements, and if I wanted to add an image instead, it will do that for me. Each one will have its image, the title, and the description. Everything can also be linked. So all widgets have a place where you can link anything if you need to. And then you can choose the different designs. So if you wanted to show a big picture or a smaller sized. So of course, like I said, widgets are here to help and make things look nicer. Columns, like I said, you just add these to add columns or rows. A countdown, Schools like to use this for the last day of school. You choose your date, your design, your colors. So all different countdown feature. Next is table. So if you needed to show information, you can do that by uploading a CSV file and it'll enter in for you, or you can manually enter it yourself. As you start to delete, it delete rows for you. As you can see here, it starts to also add rows for you as well. You can change the color. You can change the border. So if you don't need it to look like a table and you want it to look a little bit better, maybe not as much as a table, but showing information, that is the table feature. Next is text and image. So instead of adding a text and adding an image, there is just a quick text and image. You add your picture, right or left. You can change it. You can link it. You can change the paragraph. You then choose your colors. If you want your picture bigger, smaller, a border on the picture, text size, background color. So all different things that you can do to the widget. Next is copyright. If you have a picture that you need to copyright, the copyright symbol is ready for you. You can just change so it gives you the copyright signal. Next is accordion and tabs. These are also ways to create information and make them look nice. So if you wanted an accordion, you can add more. It's more of a drop-down menu option where they can see information. You can change the design of how you want it to look like. And then of course, colors, animation, fonts, and it changes it for you. That was accordion. Next is tabs. Also another neat way for you to show information. It's more of a tabs where you can click on a tab. You can have like a drop down tab. Of course, change all the colors, text, font sizes. You don't have to have a picture. And then of course, you don't have to have a link. So you can just have, and then of course, here are your headers that we have set for you. So that is tabs. Next is media. So media is where we have our pictures. So I added an image. Image slider is a slideshow. So you can have a slideshow. You do not have to have the caption or just a quick slideshow. You can add more images. And then of course the speed can be 1 second. The width, you can make it smaller. You can make it taller. And then you can display the full image. So what that would do is create a little gray area for you. You don't have to have that to where it doesn't look like it's changing for the slideshow, but it's showing you the full image. So that is slideshow. Next is photo gallery. This one's neat because you can create and do anything you want with it as well. The footer, where we have your faith and action content, this is actually used as a photo gallery. So if you click on it, you'll see photo gallery content. So when you add the widget, this is what it looks like, and you can make it look into what we have right here. How do you do that? You can click on the image. You don't want to show the text. You can replace the image. So as you can see here, I took that off. So now it doesn't do that. Design, you can choose the different layouts. So have a big picture. You can have skinny pictures. You can have circles. A lot of churches like to use this for the staff, to show the staff. Just different ways to show your gallery if you have lots of pictures that you want to show. Of course, you can adjust if you want the image at the bottom, the text, or on the picture itself. You can do that. That's photo gallery.
Do you have a place in this software that have pictures like on the feast of St. Paul, for example? I want to pull out a picture of St. Paul and put it in my homily. Do you have the place in this so that we can pick the picture or no?
No, for St. Paul, you guys upload your pictures. So before you download, there is a place where you can download the files. So if you need to download your files, it'll create zip folders for you. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I write the homily to put on in the homily, and that's the next question that I want to ask you too. And how do I do that? And like I say, you know, if I need to look for a picture, is there any way in OSV that I can find a picture? Because normally if I go online to look for picture and put it in my homily, I have to look for the free picture.
So we do have free pictures here that you can use, so that is up to you.
They're just church setting type.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yes, there are free pictures here. But if you want your own pictures, you do have to upload them. So it's like St. Paul, I don't really think these are your pictures for your church. So
Okay. So back to the harmony question. So just in the text widgets, I upload the files and then I just link to where. That's right. Where is that harmony?
where is it?
That's more. Yeah, the one that you just clicked on. More tab. Yes. Harmonies. No, that. Yeah. Here we go.
This one?
Yes.
Oh, homilies, gotcha. Yeah, you just add a, yep, you just link it.
So just link to that tab.
You just upload it and then
Yep.
it'll take it in there.
Oh.
But you have to make the widget that makes the way that it's done that way. And then you upload them in there.
So you have like 2022, you are also always, you just highlight it and you click this link button. So you can highlight and you can link text. You would click file to download, upload file, which could be pictures, the file, and then it'll be linked to the text.
Oh, that's simple.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah, yep. So stop me if you have any more questions. But so we have the button feature, the button widget. So these two widgets, icon and shape, are also buttons, but as you can see, they're icons. So you can choose an icon and then you can link it instead of using a button. So church, and you can choose the icon and link it to whatever you need to. Shape is also a button. Of course, it's just shapes though. So choose a shape and then whatever you want to link it to.
On those shapes, could you put text on top of it, or is it just yes? I see it there. Okay.
So,
So cool.
Essentially making your own buttons.
right. And then design, you could probably do,
And then you just link those to wherever you want them. So if you're on one page and you want it to go to like Parish Life, let's just say you're on home and you wanted a button that just was easy access to Parish Life because you've written something up there, you just link it to the Parish Life, correct?
right.
Okay.
Yep. Video, so this is where you could upload videos. You just copy and paste the YouTube link. If you use these other two options or programs, you can do that. You can upload your own videos, but it's only 200 megabytes, which isn't, I don't think, a lot. But YouTube is, of course, free. So if you need to upload anything, you can just get the link from YouTube and it'll play for you. Before and after, this is just a quick, it's what it is, a before and after. So if you wanted to show a before and after picture for something, that's just what that is. Next is audio. So if you wanted podcasts, you would have to use SoundCloud or Mixcloud. They have links that they provide, and it would just be clicking a play button, and then you can do your design. So that's media. Business click to call is a button ready for you to enter in the phone number, just like file, download the file. It's just there for you to enter in a phone number, and they can click on their cell phone and call. It'll dial. Email as well, same thing, another button, just like email. What's important here is calendar. If you would like to use the calendar feature, you would have to use Google Calendar. You sign in and select the calendar for the church. So that is the calendar. And then you're, of course, more than welcome to use any of these widgets. This is for kind of like restaurant business. But the one that you'll probably use is contact form. This is how you would create a form on the website. When you go in, this is what it'll be defaulted as. You can, of course, change the name. You can add more fields to the form, and then reCAPTCHA's turned on, the title of the form, submissions. If you need someone, whoever needs to get the submissions notification, they can get that. And then thank you, giving them a thank you message, and then tracking. This is, let's see here. This is for you. So if you needed to add a little reminder, you can do that here. Integration, I'm not too familiar with these three, but I know some churches use them and they are able to, I'm not sure if transfer them, send the submissions to these platforms and keep them tracked. So that is forms. And then of course design, where you can change the design of the form. Next, social, all the different ways to show like Facebook. So if you want to show your Facebook comments, you can just add your church, your organization's link your organization's comments if they want to leave comments on through your website, your Facebook feed. So just already widgets there for you to add your Facebook link, and they can see your Facebook feed. And of course, you can make that bigger. So. Facebook. And then if you needed to do, and I don't know if your website currently uses HTML, but here is our HTML where you can add code yourself if you would like to. So that's the HTML widget that some churches like to use. Next is content. So this button right here, content. If you wanted to change your logo, it's going to say the content library, which is right here. So this is where you can change the logo, replace that and put your church's address. Because it looks like that is ours still. And then phone number, looks like someone did add email address. The next thing that's important here is content. So you would go to media, and here's your media. On this new website, you will be going to content, site content, and they actually separate the images and files. So images, where you can see the free ones, and then you can see the files. You can delete and add files. So you will have two separate places. Here is the second place where you can view the form submissions. So before you logged in, I showed you where you could see when you log in, you see the form responses. Here you can see the responses as well. So content, site content. Next is personalize. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this page. We're done with widgets. Next is personalize. So in Radius, you could create a banner up at the top, kind of like this, to announce. Sorry. So you could create a notification at the top. That is where you would use personalize. So personalize is what we use to create the rules. And then pages, this is where pop-ups and personalize come together. They work together. So pop-ups and personalize. When you use a pop-up from pages, so if I wanted to create a pop-up, you go to pop-ups and you can create a, like I said, a pop-up. So if I wanted to add a pop-up, that means that when someone goes to your website, they will have this pop-up. You can change the settings. You can make it smaller. So this will be the pop-up that they see when they go to your website. The difference is it's kind of like vice versa. Here you create your rules first, and then you design the pop-up. Here you create the pop-up first, and then you can click personalization rules and create the rules. So it's a little different on both ends. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. So if you wanted to create a pop-up, I recommend using personalized because you can start from the beginning. All of these are available for you to use. The build your own is what I'm going to show you. So you can choose the devices. The time is what a lot of administrators want to know about. So I'm going to click time. And that means that you can set a start date and you can choose an end date. So it'll show between next week. And then you can go next. And then here's the new row. So a new row would be under the header bar and it'll show a row. A notification bar will show at the top like your website, kind of like this, a notification bar. A pop-up, that's the new one where you can create a pop-up. and I'm going to show you that one. You can choose where it shows up. We're going to choose the home page. It's going to show up immediately. When you click next, it will allow you to edit the pop-up. I think I have a lot going on my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and edit. As you can see here, I edited it. So you can go ahead and edit. When you click next, now this pop-up is created. You can click on the widgets because you can still add widgets to it. You can remove the button. You don't have to show anything. Mass is canceled due to weather. And then you can choose the pop-up settings, color, fonts. So when you click done, the way it looks is, so right now I saved it, right? It's loading, it's saved, it's saving automatically. Remember that you have to publish. So I would have to publish it to go live. I'm going to go ahead and view the pop-up that I just created. So we'll go personalize and we're going to preview. So if someone goes on your website, it's going to pop it up. So if you ever need to make announcements, that is the feature to use. And then I can delete.
Let's put a pop-up sign. We are on meeting.
Next, e-commerce, you won't see that. App Store, you don't see that either. Blog, do you create blogs on your website? Do you have blogs?
Do you have a blog, Father?
That's how many?
No.
What do you mean?
She asked if you had blogs on the website.
Just something that you want to talk about extra.
Yeah.
I like to create one.
Yeah, so if you want to create a blog, that is what this button is. So blog is, I'm going to show you. So when you go to widgets, it would be blogs. And you can add a widget. I'm going to add it underneath here so I can delete it. All posts. And what this does is when you create blogs, it is going to show as you create them. So they would be able to click on the blog and read it. So what that means, this could be something different that you can use. You're going to create a new post. You can title it. You can put your author. And then when you start it, you can edit and add the title. There's where your the author is. You don't have to have an image. And then you can start writing. So it's just a neat way for you to be able to create a nice blog, maybe a newsletter, and then it stays all in one place for it to be viewed. And then you can delete them. You have settings for each blog. So this is a neat feature that you could use, and it's available to you. So yeah, you do have blogs. You can look at that and use it if you want to use it.
Maybe we can use that for the like the bulletin message. Yeah, past the blog. So
Yes, if you want to, you can.
it's in there.
So in settings, mostly all of this is taken care of by us. If you have any questions, let us know. One thing I do want to show you is backup site. So backup site, if anything were to be deleted on Radius, unfortunately, it would be gone. So this new backup site, it's nice because you can restore the website that you once had it. So let's say that you made changes today and you messed up and you republished it. you can restore the website of what it looked like previously and have it go back and remove the things that you did not like. So you can restore republishes. So that'll be there for you. That's a neat feature. Any questions?
As soon as we hit publish, the other website is down.
No. Well, as soon as we publish the new website,
Then
it will, let me check. I think we host your domain. So it would take a couple hours for the domain to switch over to this new look. But essentially, yes, when you tell us you're ready to publish, it will be this new website.
okay.
And then Radius will be shut down 2 weeks after the publish date. So if we publish it today, Radius would be completely gone by the 30th, for example.
So it would all be through OSV. Now, we're still struggling with emails and trying to get the emails migrated
Okay.
because we have them through St. Paul CC.com, which is through Radius, from what I understand.
Office at St. Paul.
Yeah, office at St. Paul.
It's, yeah, yep.
So we would lose access to everything at that point once we go to publish, correct?
Yes.
So I
Well,
guess
the thing is once we start to, yes, I think you would. Yeah, because we would publish it and the email server goes away too.
so
Right.
Are we losing all of those? Is that what I'm understanding? Or even if we go to migrate, are we having to restart
Restart what?
our emails?
If you're, so I'm assuming you're talking about migrating over like your history.
Just the emails in general, because right now we're still having to go our original route, which was through Outlook.
No, yeah. So when you go to Google, I know, so I just made this yesterday. We're working on it, but I can show you what I have so far. I was able to go on with someone else, another church, and take pictures of what it looks like.
Okay.
But when you go to Google, you manage your domain and you want to activate Google once it's verified.
Right. Verified.
So we want to activate Gmail and set up the MX records.
Right.
Once,
All of that's done.
so have you gone through this?
The activate Gmail.
Right. So once you're verified, you're going to click this activate button.
Yes. And it's
right. Verified is different. So
Right.
verified allows you to then activate.
correct.
So then you're going to be able to click these two buttons. I'm ready to receive all emails for the domain. And then I've already added all the existing. If you haven't, that's where you will do that. Add more users.
And
Where then you,
we've not gotten that. I don't know how to get to that. That's where I'm stuck.
according to the person that I logged in, it's under domains, manage domains. Maybe under account.
Okay. That is so helpful because we have not been able to find that at all. And that's where there was a link, like there was one part of the whole thing that I'm missing, and this is it right here.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then so you will then click, it's weird because you'll click add more users, and then you can add the users. It allows them to, you type in their name, it sends them a request, And then just in case, I would copy the email because it like allows you, it gives them a password. And I think in the email, it'll give them the password, but just in case, I don't know if it does or not, but it allows you to copy the password that they will get. And then for some reason, once you're done adding users, you're at the beginning of this where it'll take you to users. So you'll have to go back to account and manage domain and click activate again. That's what I noted yesterday is after you add your users, you'll once again have to find manage domain and then go back to where you can activate Gmail. So then once you add the users, you'll be able to check both of these and click continue. And then the second one is what we need, this picture right here. We need to enter in the MX records. And then once we do that and we tell you we've done that, then you can activate. You can click the activate button. It checks it for you. And then it says Gmail activated. Where you will start to receive emails at that point.
Okay. Okay.
I think she's gonna go try something.
So with Gmail, let me know if you have any questions. As for your website though, do you know if you want to just have us move everything over? Are there certain pages you don't want moved over?
I think for now, Father, we move everything over and then if we modify later or make any changes later,
Okay,
but have something, in there already. So we prefer, I think, to have everything just moved over.
okay, I will add that note. Awesome, cool. Have that in there. Okay. I can wait for you to do your emails.
She's working on that right now.
Okay. Is there any other questions for the training? Like I said, I am recording this, so I will upload it to YouTube and send you the link. That way you can view it over if you need to or share it with anyone else.
Yeah, that'd be great.
One thing I did miss. So the website itself has forms. Are there any forms on your current website that you need filled out? That get filled out?
Look under, I think under sacraments, maybe.
We do have sacraments, and then we do have Acts retreat forms.
Yeah. We'll probably,
Acts retreat.
yeah. And I'm sure there's probably going to be some modifications to them, but.
Oh, so these forms here, okay. So the one thing that I forgot to mention, so the website has forms itself. But the OSV hub, because you have online giving with us, you can use our forms on the OSV hub where you can create, and what the neat thing with these forms is you can collect payment. So religious education with payment. And then it will be deposited just like your funds are. And then you can collect payment for anything. So, and then when you create a form, a link is given to you. And then you can post that link into your website. So 2 different ways for you to do forms. I know some churches, especially if they're collecting payment, will want to use this. And then if they're just collecting information, they want to use the links on the website, the forms on the website. So 2 different ways you can use forms.
Now, Louisa, I just did the the manage domains, the account, the add more, and then it took me to the MX records. How do I get you that?
So you weren't supposed to check these two. Did you check these two boxes?
Yes.
You were supposed to click add more users before you check these two boxes and click continue.
Okay, so what happens?
What happens now?
I'm assuming you can click the back button.
Okay. I can do that. And what I'm showing are 2 users because I tried to set up the office at St. Paul's and then Father Joseph. And they both show active.
Okay, so is that all you need to add?
No, I need to add more, but I was just afraid
Yeah.
it
There-
wasn't going to work because I have there's no kind of to tell me that I'm on the right path or I'm doing the right thing, and I didn't want to mess anybody up.
So active means that they've created their login.
Okay.
So when you click add more users, you're going to see those that have already had ones created, and then there should be a button where you can add a new user.
Right, and I get that part. Now, once those are all created and they're all in there and they've done what they need to do, they've done their login. At that point,
Then you can click these two buttons, click continue
okay,
to where it'll take you to step 2. And then we need these to reroute the email server because it's routed to our webmail right now.
got it. Now, my next question, these are just for existing, correct? I can't, if I've got some people that need, that don't have, I do that at a later point, or do I do that now? Because they're not set up at St. Paul the Apostle CC.com.
You'll always be able to manage your users. So yeah, that you'll when you go to add users, you'll see you can remove people because I think there's a limit as to how many emails you can have.
Okay.
So sometimes you might, if it gets to a point where you exceed your limit, you'll probably have to delete a person and then add the person that needs it.
Okay. Do you know about how many?
I don't.
Okay. There's not many people. I mean, it would be max like 11.
I don't know. I don't know if it's 10. Ours is 10. If you pay for more, I think you can go up to 20 and 30 on our end, but at an extra cost. I don't know how Google does it.
No problem. And we're set up for the Google for nonprofits, so it's all free from what I'm
Right.
understanding. Yeah.
It is free, and then I'm assuming they have a limit to. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So right now I've got on the status, both of them are active, and one of them is the office at St. Paul, and the other one was Father Joseph. If I go back and then hit those 2 buttons, then it'll take me into the next step to where I can activate those 2, correct?
Don't you have to add all
No.
the users first? You got to add all the users first.
Yeah, you got to add the users first.
Then you go back and click on those 2 buttons.
My fear, I guess, is where I was coming from for the first time, was we've got things that are coming in. How long does it take?
No, you're going to add users and they're going to create their login. It won't reroute it until we do this. So you're fine.
Okay, and then how do I get you that information?
Can you screenshot?
Sure. Once we're done, I can get you all of the new servers, all of the new addresses and all of that. That's what you're needing?
This picture right here.
Okay, I can do that.
Yep.
Okay,
And that's it.
that's all I was needing. Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. Is there any other questions?
No, not
Not
right
as
now.
of right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have questions later, but right
So-
now, we're okay.
So, okay, let me stop the recording.
Okay.